You know, I'm so used to the gag that you did originally that I forget that he's technically silent when he's doing that falling.
Yeah. For those wondering, yes, this time I am actually committing to making Gex a mostly full-on playthrough. Because, I mean, yeah, and live. Which, I mean, that's the most important part, considering the fact that a game like this is pretty simple by nature otherwise.
And I don't know what it is, because we were talking about this with other things, but like, oh, I just now noticed the moon has a screaming man in it. That's cool.
It does. Holy shit.
Oh, you know.
But
I mean, yeah, actually, that is another thing we can bring up real quick, is that, naturally, since we are literally in the realm of television medium, all the worlds we go through are themed after certain genres. Like, the first level we were going through is literally that of the horror genre through the cemetery. Afterwards, we'll be going through New Toonland, which is, I mean, speaks for itself.
Yep, Looney Tunes.
Afterwards, you'll go through Jungle Isle, which is pretty much your traditional adventure / Indiana Jones-esque escapade. The second to last world you will be going through will be based around Kung Fu Theater. And, well, I say that loosely, considering the fact that this is around that time where American media did not know the difference between Japanese and Chinese mediums, and just pretty much scrunched them both together.
Yeah, it was it was the Asian, the Oriental, it was a whole thing. But, don't get that, and careful.
Whee! Actually, let me grab that real quick. Now I can make... Don't mind me just taking a leisurely stroll.
We were that close to a checkpoint.
Oh,
yeah,
devil damn.
This is a little bit... This is, okay, the Golden Fireflies, what happens if you collect too many of them? Or
if you collect 100 of them, you get an extra life.
Okay, alrighty then. Okay,
it's pretty standard right there.
Alright, so yeah, the statement I was going to say was that I don't know what it was, but, nice. But somehow, like, because this is something that we've been trying out with other games before, but, like, if you have a game that is a little on the slower side, or a little bit on the, a little bit on the more, not bland, but definitely, like, nothing really, like, too spectacular happens on a moment-to-moment basis, doing it live somehow makes it more exciting well, I don't get it, but it does.
Yeah, I can agree.
I think it's just the uncertainty in general, considering the fact that, well, as I'm playing right now, I don't know if I'm going to win this or not, or if I'm literally going to get Freddied.
Keeps you on the edge of your seats. And I think I do agree with you that I think that does it puts real-time stakes for us.
Also, a quick shout out to this game's soundtrack. That feels like the next big step from CDI Audio.
I'm looking this up. I'm looking who did this. Bonus. Oh wow,
Woo!
nice. That's a lot of lives.
Perfect.
Woo! All right, so the composer.
Oh, okay. So that's how you get the other pieces of the Planet X remote, because I just got a piece of it, right? Just doing that bonus.
Oh, okay. And I'm assuming. I hope it's just one mini game per world that you have to do it for, not every round.
I think so. I mean, granted, there'd only be like what 4 or 5 chances to really do it.
How in that moment right there, how tight are the controls for Gex?
Gex's controls, I'll say, they might take some getting used to, but they're really not that bad. Okay. Like, again, think of them like your traditional 2D platformer. You run, you jump, you slash, you lick.
Fair enough.
And you can hold down a button to run.
Oh, the VHS tape.
Yep, now we can get ourselves a password.
That was super tiny. Alright, let's see.
Yeah, I don't remember video cassettes being that tiny.
That's like a frickin', those like the little baby ones that I would get like in a little like teeny like little tape recorder thing, but whatever.
Oh, kill your TV, man.
What? Your TV?
Kill your TV.
Kill your TV. I don't want to do that, Gex. I wouldn't be able to play.
Man, let's think about this for a moment here. Like, imagine if a Gex revival ever did happen. They have to more or less abide by current media trends.
They would, which would have to be the whole streaming thing then.
I was about to say, would Gex be for or against streaming?
I'm too simple on Walden's Mountain.
I honestly think no. At least as far as I know, Gex, I don't think he is like
picky?
A purist when it comes to this stuff. Yeah, I think it's just like with the current setup. Hey. It looked like you just turned around and accidentally killed him.
I think as far as Gex is concerned, as long as it involves watching things through a screen, he's not picky.
And I see streaming as like the next big thing of like, oh my gosh, you mean I can watch how many more channels without having to even leave my room? And I mean, because that's the thing is that like, because as far as the humor of it goes, the dude has over $20 billion. Money is no object to him. If he can if he can enjoy the media however he can, he's going to like so the streaming thing isn't gonna throw him off. But
I mean, honestly, with that kind of money, he could probably just up and buy himself a freaking channel. Excuse me, not a channel, like an actual. You know, kind of. You know that whole joke with freaking Tony Stark literally buying Netflix for Peter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What was the
Actually, you know what? That would be the next big step. Instead of buying a Netflix subscription, he would just buy Netflix itself.
I mean that too, but I'm thinking, do you think, oh, where was I going with this? Do you think, Rez would still be a thing?
I'm sure they'll find a way to bring him back. I mean, you know what they say. I mean,
Villains are harder to kill than cockroaches?
Exactly. Thank you.
Fair enough. I don't know
Especially
where I
if that
remember
villain is a
from.
cockroach.
I'm not entirely sure what Red's supposed to be. I always got the impression that he was like supposed to be like a robotic fly.
You remind me like
thing.
an alien or something, yeah. Come on. Boop. Nice. Let's see what else.
Oh
I
yeah,
have
one
here.
other thing that's worth mentioning is,
This would be great for my collection.
but those balls that we keep coming across, like you're encouraged to lick them to get the full benefit, but you can also tail them for 1 extra pip of health.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, that's a neat little like trade-off though. The other thing I'm thinking of, if he was still involved in it,
hungry, damn it.
there you go.
There it goes.
Is at least with the tone, the inflection that Dana's doing, it kind of makes me wonder if they wanted initially, in some pipe dream, if they wanted Jim Carrey to voice this guy.
I can see that.
Is Dana Gold even a thing, or is he still a thing at all? Because I haven't
yeah,
heard
no,
much of
yeah,
anything.
oh yeah, no. When I looked him up, he was on Parks and Recreation. He was on like, he's been in a couple. It's mostly been like cameo like acting work, but he's been in a couple things like a couple years ago.
So he's pretty much about as indie of an actor as T.J. Rolotto or whatever, however you say his name.
Rotalo, yeah.
Rotalo, thank you.
Otherwise,
Anyway, after losing this thing so many times, here's what it does.
oh.
Oh, yeah. It's tail time.
I don't know why I like the little variation. Can you actually use them as platforms, or is it just another ranged projectile?
I think you can't use them as platforms. I think it's just it needs to kill them easier.
Okay.
You know what,
I guess it should be said that there are like 3 breath power-ups in total in this game, as far as I'm aware, and there's not really too much of a difference in terms of utility between them all, save for like the last one. But I'll get to that like once we reach the final world of the game, because that's the only place you can find it.
Real
Okay.
quick, because I'm just thinking of like the variations that you guys are talking about. There's a part of me that would like it if, similar to what Shantae does in Half Genie Hero, there's one variation where it's like, you know, normally he's like, it's tail time. Oh yeah, it's tail time. At one point, it just goes, it's tail time.
I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if that's something he would do in the third game.
Careful.
Granted, I've barely played the third game myself, so I'm not entirely certain.
I tried it out. It's basically a rehash of the second game.
I see.
More or less, save for like slightly better camera controls.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Because yeah, no, the camera controls in the original Enter the Gecko were pretty bad.
Well, it's a 3D platformer, so.
It was started
Yeah.
off. It started off. But
Also,
one-
Sorry,
Go ahead. I would say one detail I did like about Gex 2, if we ever get to it, is I did like the detail of him actually like changing outfits depending on which TV realm he was in.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's cute.
that I thought was cool. I guess if we're... I know there was something I was going to say. I can't quite think of it off the top of my head, so never
We
mind.
mentioned the acting. We mentioned the Shantae likeness thing. We mentioned the better camera controls and
Oh,
we mentioned the better camera controls in Gex 3 compared to Gex 2.
Not yet, thanks.
What? I don't know. Okay.
I don't know. He said he wasn't ready yet for that one.
I'm okay. That's fine. I'm just. Oh, I'm so sorry, dude. Otherwise, I'm just here just to enjoy the visuals and the thing. Apparently, when I went to look up this game's Wikipedia article, there was an extensive whole section just on its development and how it got released. That
Huh.
I kind of want to look into, but I kind of want to wait till we at least get through this world first, because I don't want to go through the you don't want to serve the whole dessert right away.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I want to see if I can pace this out a little bit, but for
I mean, I will definitely say, ladies and gentlemen, part of me was tempted to see if I could find the actual 3DO version and play it that way. but it's also one of those cases where who the heck's going out of the way to go try and emulate 3DO games?
And if not that, I was about to ask, like, do you have a 3DO still?
Who does?
Yeah. Okay.
Aside from vintage collectors.
Okay, because that's the part. Well, I thought you. Genuinely, I thought you did, in the same sense that Matt and/or Hype at one point had a Virtual Boy.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and
I don't have it anymore, but
for good reason. But we already had we already had as much fun as we were gonna have with that flying beavers, not aside.
flying beavers.
Thank you.
Okay, you know what? I remember what I was gonna say earlier.
Oh, cool.
You ever notice how Gex is literally this totally pre-rendered Donkey Kong Country sort of character, and yet everything else around him is literally sprite-based?
I almost wonder if that's a budgetary reason. Oh, and you know what? Okay, so this is now how we're gonna get out of here.
Yep, that's a world remote. Basically, we'll need that in order to access the next world.
So
But that being said, it doesn't automatically mean that you'll get to go to the next level in that world. You'll still have to find a separate remote for that, which thankfully is tied to this level's boss.
Okay, so I was about to say, like, okay, so there's no, like, careful.
I'm not even sure this is going to be worth it, but nice.
Awesome. The climate controls, I assume, are also very tight.
Oh yeah, they're pretty tight.
Nice.
Again, they might take some getting used to, but it's also like once you master them, it's like it's like riding a bike.
Ooh. All right, there's the remote to the boss. Okay, because I was about to ask, like, okay, so there is no. Come on. Because I was about to ask, okay, so there's no shortcuts. There's no sneaking to the next world. You do have to basically beat every boss in order to get there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you will need to finish the world more or less fully, whether you like it or not. Assuming you decide not to cheat.
Of course, which we did try to look up passwords to get to Planet X, but it was so weird.
It does work, or at least from what I can tell, it does kind of work. But it treats it as though you beat the world. So.
So it doesn't. So no remotes are actually there. Like no, you can't actually go anywhere.
No, you can still replay them, but I guess you just don't have the satisfaction of doing that all yourself.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, careful.
Though I guess I will say, if you do decide to go out of your way to actually beat the game 100% and go through Planet X, the ending sequence of the game is the end credits is super elongated to include a very hard. I can't say if it's like the most heartfelt thing or the most backsass. Like, well, it starts off very heartfelt, but then gets very fucking backsassy, right by the end of it.
Oh,
and then they up and say, "Fuck it, let's just show you all the concept work we did for this game," and then skip the credits.
Oh, you know what? That just
up there, yeah. But continue.
that makes me. I was just saying that makes me think of. I'm sure there are other games that have done something like this, but this is just the first one that comes to mind, especially this early in the industry. It makes me think of like the true ending for Crash Team Racing, where after you beat Oxide for good, you unlock like this scrapbook of concept art throughout the entire original trilogy.
Is that how you unlocked it? I thought you got that through beating all the tournaments in the Cup mode.
That might have been it, but I think you get like the general gist of what the reward is.
That's fair. That's completely fair. Oh, that's right. Nitro Fuel was the one that did that. I'm thinking the original game. My bad. Alright, with that said, we got a world remote, but as much as we could leave right away, no real point to. So let's just go ahead and open up that secret television set.
Oh. Wait, so there's not a boss yet?
No, there is a boss. It pretty much opens the way to the boss.
Oh, I thought that big monitor in the upper left was the boss.
Spin and puke.
For our first boss fight, we're going to spin and puke, and most if not every boss in this game is pretty much based on a very specific reference. I mean, take 3 guesses what this one's based on.
Let's see.
Well, the results screen of the levels for this world kind of hint at already. It's the Poltergeist. Or no, Poltergeist.
Right.
No, wait, that's not it.
No, not Poltergeist, Exorcist.
Exorcist. I don't watch horror films at all, plus me being dumb is why I got that wrong.
Keep this in mind. You can get crushed by the platforms if you just like that.
Oh, I was about to say, so it's an auto scroll the whole time. That's actually kind of mean.
Kind of mean, but otherwise, beyond that, this fight's really not that hard.
Get back to the mystery van.
Mystery machine, you
Shaggy.
dolt.
What do you call mystery van?
Yes, that is a common mistake.
I mean, have you seen that recent GIF of Freddy just going apeshit? The thing, he's gonna get mad at him.
Oh, well, I figured that was just because of, like, someone saying, like, hey, why the scarf?
Oh no, well, that was funny, but I was thinking back to that the sequence from I think Mystery Inc. or whatever was like, "Are you ready, Fred?" Like, "Ready," and he just flies and drifts and spins the sucker into parallel parking.
That sounds familiar, but I don't know if that's from Mystery Incorporated or not.
It may have been something else, but I'll look it up. But for now, I'm gonna let James focus on this because it's Kirby logic all over again.
And that's it.
That's it.
Also, the puke literally froze.
I loved the way Gex turned like, huh, would you look at that? That is every boss gonna be that fast?
Some of them are. Some are harder than others, though.
Say goodbye, you little cockroach.
Boom, boom.
That's your tail.
Don't tell him that. Well, okay, with 3 free lives for the price of 1,